Welcome to Born for the Trades, a home service podcast. I'm your host, Mandeep Bala, sitting next to Shreya, my co-host.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Today we have an amazing guest on our show. His name is Billy Stevens, the owner of billyGO, a multi-million dollar plumbing and HVAC company, and Sera Systems, a field service management software company that helps small to large size HVAC, plumbing, and electrical and home service businesses add money to their bottom line. Thank you, Billy, for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me, Mandeep.
Awesome. I know, we have been reaching out to each other. Your schedule was busy and ours, and finally we are here. So proud to have you. And let's get started.
Couldn't wait to get on here. I apologize. We really tried hard, and it took a while. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, excited for this one.
Join us as we dive deep into the world of home service entrepreneurship, interacting with industry leaders, coaches, and entrepreneurs about their experiences, challenges, and victories. Through their inspiring stories, we hope to equip our listeners with the tools and knowledge they need to succeed in the competitive home service industry. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, tune in to Born for the Trades podcast for invaluable insight and real-world inspiration.
Let's get started with your journey, from billyGO and Sera. So it would be great for the listeners. I think let's give a fresh perspective, from where you started, what you did with the billyGO, and what you're doing with Sera. It will be great.
Absolutely. So starting my story at billyGO, basically, I had a life before that. I had a large company through the 90s and early 2000s, and met a couple of guys, and we started the very first PE firm. We were basically ground zero for that. Ran that business for almost 2 years, and then I stepped away and took some time off. And while I was taking time off, I was thinking about my next move. And that's how billyGO was born. I retired and I was home every day. And all of a sudden she was telling me to go. She kept saying, Billy, go do this. Billy, go do that.
Wow. I never thought about that. Why it's like billyGO?
That's exactly why I named it billyGO.
Here you go. Interesting. Never thought of that.
Yes, I did that for her because she wasn't used to having me around all the time, so I had to go back to work. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, I started billyGO. The guys that were helping me run my first company were really bugging me to go back into the trades. But what intrigued me is I thought if I came back in, I want to design my own software that we could use. I really wasn't even thinking about selling it to anyone at this point. I was thinking about just franchising billyGO all across the country and build my own software to do that.
Okay.
And that's really where the dream started. And as we started building it, we started getting people that would hear about it, want to use it. And so it just kind of changed our direction, and decided to, create a SaaS software for the entire trades to use, and use a lot of the philosophies that I did to build my business and make it as profitable as we did in the 90s and 2000s. And so we literally started billyGO from scratch and Sera from scratch. I mean, there was nothing there, out of thin air. And the thing that really amazed me is when we started building this software, the first thing we built was a customer interface, the people we do business with.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a business. We didn't have a single customer at all. And I wasn't going to buy a company. That would have been too easy. I already done that. And so I wanted to prove that we could literally build a business out of thin air and make it into a large company using the right type of software. And that is why Sera and billyGO are connected, if you will. And so just a brief story on billyGO and its trajectory and what it's done. So the very first year we were in business, we did $3.4 million, and that is no customers on day one.
Oh, wow. And no one bootstrapped. Everything was funded by you?
I just funded it myself. Funded it myself. No bootstrapping or anything. I funded everything. And we did 3.4 million. The next year we did 5.7.
Wow.
Then we did 7.3. Last year we did last year we did 11.3, and
Wow.
we were projecting to do 18 million this year. And that is
Congrats.
without a single customer on day one. And still to this day, we never bought a company to get those revenues. So
Wow.
though this is over $30 million of revenues, starting with one customer
Right.
in 4 years.
Way
And
to
so
go.
what we did was we wanted to make it easy for the customer to do business with us. And that's what no other software offers, is this connection between us and the people that spend money with us. And we made that first. And it has been a major success for us and for our users of Sera. And we planted all this information on the website for these people and for billyGO. And then the websites do extremely well because we're getting customers to spend time on the websites. They're booking calls there. They're looking at their invoices, their quotes, their warranties, whatever they need, their videos, whatever they need is on that customer portal. And that is how we draw these customers in so quickly.
That's amazing, Billy. What a great story. Like starting from scratch and taking your company this year, projecting to 18 million and starting like, field software, like, for the contractors. What were the challenges or limitations that or issues you faced with the existing, softwares, like, field service softwares when you were working with billyGO, when you were expanding? What were the challenges or issues with the existing softwares?
So the biggest challenge was there really wasn't much software for us to use in the beginning. And so we had to, do it the old fashioned way, spreadsheets and pen and paper in some cases.
Right.
But within the first year, we had an admin portal, and then we had the tech app was built. And so Sera is basically built in 3 different software packages. It's basically, we have the customer interface, the tech app, and then the admin. And all 3 of those have to talk to each other to make the ecosystem work. And Sera becomes smarter based on the information that it gets. It needs to know where a tech is. It needs to know what he's doing, how long it's going to take him to do it. Sera knows all this stuff when they sell things. We have job time efficiency built in the software. So we know almost to the minute how long a guy is going to be on a job. So we don't have to call around and see when we can go to the next call. Sera's already pre-selecting that next call, and we go and we're on time.
That's awesome.
And that is why customers have just ran to our company to do business with us, because we make it super transparent and easy.
That's awesome. And when it comes to, I know I have all these little birdies in my ear, like these imaginary birdies, hearing all this information can you take us through your onboarding process and what that looks like?
Absolutely. So about 30 days from now, we're going to have the industry first self onboarding. You can literally do it yourselves.
Self onboarding?
Yes.
Wow.
This is an industry first for a software package like ours. It's so complete from A to Z. We can do it all. And we literally are going to have, excuse me, self onboarding ready here in August. And everything that you need is there. We'll walk you through it. We gamified the entire thing, so you know exactly what you're doing, and people can literally onboard themselves in a few days. And we made it so simple with videos and all the things that they need to set up properly. But at the same time, imagine when you go to a grocery store and, we used to have checkout stands. And so you stood in line for the checkout person.
Yeah.
And then they came out with the self-checkout over to the side. And there's like eight or 10 monitors there where you can do it yourself. And there's one person that stands there and helps you if there's anything. Well, that's the same concept that we have now at Sera. So we'll always have that person there available to assist you, but they're assisting lots of people at the same time, and they can see exactly what they're doing every day, or while they're logging in and working on setting up their own companies. And by doing this, we've allowed it to be cheaper for them to onboard. They get to learn the software as they're onboarding. We actually teach them the software while they're onboarding.
Right.
All done in Sera Academy. And we just make it easy for this transition and not have to wait for months and months. And literally you can run your business in, the same month if that's how fast you want to go.
Yeah, that's
That's
amazing.
great.
That's great that you have come up with a seamless. It seems it's starting, right? It has already rolled out, or are you rolling out pretty soon?
This is rolling out August, the first week of August.
Okay, first
Gotcha.
week of August. And want to ask you this thing, Sera, you're running this software. You're doing great things. What differentiates you as a Sera product from other softwares in the market?
Well, I'm going to say the most important thing is the code. The code that we created is what's the difference maker here. Our code is machine learning. It's smart. It's got automated intelligence. It's not the old code like other softwares are using, .NET or whatever they're using. This code is built in a way that's quite different. The way we used to build software is you build a bunch of data tables, you stack on these data tables on top of each other. This is kind of the layman's version of it. It's not the engineer version of it, but
Good.
you just kind of, because I'm the layman guy here. I don't know.
Yeah, because for the list,
how it all works.
because to all the listeners, they are listening, so they want they might not understand code. So yeah, if it will be great to just make it
Yes.
more easier.
And so the typical way that used to happen is you just build all these data tables, and all these data tables got to connect to each other. And the more data tables you have, the more complicated the software becomes. And so the more and more and more they build, the more complicated it becomes. It doesn't get easier. The way we build software is we connect dots. And so every time we add new things, we introduce more automation, more machine learning, so that we can start getting real good data. And that the very first thing about Sera that I want to say here is the way we designed it is the data that it can produce for your company. We are a data mining machine, and we are bringing in new reports every single day. And these reports are reports that really dive deep into the business so you can make decisions. But the most important part is they're accurate. You cannot put bad data in Sera. It has checks and balances for that.
Let's go more deeper into data. Just high level items, what kind of data you're referring to that is you guys have worked on so that people can see that data. So what this data high level looks like?
Absolutely. So the most important data that we've created is this is step one. It's called job time efficiency. And in our industry, we're very inefficient. Think about it like this. When you send a technician out to a house, he's driving how many hours a day? Like a bunch, maybe 3 hours a day, 3 or 4 hours a day in between calls, right? And then he's spending time talking to the customer. Maybe he's waiting for parts to be delivered, or he's got to go pick them up. All this stuff is wasted time. And the contractors have no visibility in this waste, how much time is being wasted. So we built inside of Sera job time efficiency, and we can track that technician's day, completely track his day. And by doing this, the data that we have received, we can now, we at billyGO and a lot of our other clients on Sera, at billyGO right now, we are running on jobs sold 104% efficient. So we are collecting money for every minute that these guys are on the clock. And I don't care what you have in any other software. This is the thing you need to have to make the difference in your business. The profitability that we are seeing from these companies that have implemented job time efficiency is just off the charts. We have companies that are in the 30% EBITDA margins when the industry average is 12.
Right.
Wow.
And billyGO is at a 26.1% EBITDA right now. And if you do the math on that on an $18 million year, we get to 18 million and 26.1.
Right. Yeah, imagine that math. Yeah.
We're almost $5 million in cash flow on an $18 million business.
So you're saying these are the I would say this is the math that makes it, the Sera makes it easier to look at the data so that you can predict your profitability and
that's right,
and much more, right?
Yes. We figured out how to not charge dispatch fees, because that's a barrier to entry. Why would you charge a dispatch fee if you can actually if you're charging for every minute of everyone's time, you don't need these additional fees. And so these
Right.
additional fees are what keep people from choosing you. And so we build it all in. And so we charge for every minute of everyone's time. And therefore we are completely accurate when it comes to profitability. We know how much money we're going to make as the month goes on. We don't have to wait till the financial statements show up.
Awesome.
Right.
We can see that. And then with our partnership with Blue On, we will be able to give you a gross margin of every job the second it is completed. And that's going to
Wow.
roll out
Oh,
towards the end
wow.
of this
Oh,
year.
I didn't know that you guys are partnered with Blue One. That's amazing.
Yes, yes, sir. We have a partnership with Blue On. It's an exclusive partnership to build it completely out into our tech app. And we're actually going to rename the tech app the Blue On Tech app. So it will be a complete integration into Sera. And once we have this integration done, we will be able to give you what you spend on parts, exactly what you spend on parts, what parts you used, 100% inventory control, all automated. Don't have to have a lot of running around trying to do your inventory.
Right.
Be able to min-max everything. We're very excited about this.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that is super exciting. And we talked about, the leadership aspect or the owner aspect and the client user aspect. I want to talk a little bit more about the technician user aspect, just selfishly, because I was in the field using softwares. So I know that on my calls and most of the businesses that I meet with now offer options, right? And there's a big gap in options sometimes with softwares where the technician, the biggest complaint that I get personally is that it takes too long or it's not super easy to build options, maybe on a certain software. So how does Sera cover options with the technician user experience or other features that the technician uses on their calls that makes it easier for them?
Excellent question. Thank you for asking that. First and foremost, we talked about machine learning and automation when we first talked about Sera. And we obviously have done this in the tech app. And to me, of all the three things we built, customer portal, tech app, or the admin, that tech app is the most progressive thing we have. So the way we design it, whatever task you pick, Sera will offer up the add-ons right there. You do not have to go back into your price book. It will already tell you, okay, you're picking this. These are the things that you should consider as well that go with this. And it's literally right there. They just touch it, they click it, and they said, I select, and that's one bid. It's done. But at the same time, Sera's going, okay, this is your good bid, but I already have your better bid already thought of. What's coming next? This is what you should put in your good, better, best scenario. So Sera already knows based off of what you pick, what you're going to need to pick to do a good, better, best option. And you can literally build 5 proposals in 3 minutes or less in Sera.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha. So it's adding on to that kind of sort of recommending based on its data of what should come next in the good, better, best system.
Yes. If you make it difficult for a technician to go back into a book and he's got to look for the add-ons and stuff, what is he going to do? He's not going to look at them. He's just going to sell the basic thing. And so job time efficiency is something that we show to the techs. So everybody gets real happy and they always love on the guys or girls that are the number one sellers, right?
Yeah.
But in Sera, we celebrate the people that are the most efficient, because a middle of the road tech on revenue could be your most profitable most profitable guy in the business.
I agree.
And we're given that transparency so you can figure this out. You can see it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Moving on to Billy, I think I really want to touch base on that so that, for the listeners, they can learn more about, Sera. Can you share any success story or case study where you have seen contractors, they have seen significant improvements in their operations and profitability using Sera?
I have an excellent story I want to share.
Okay.
And everything about this story you're going to wonder how this is possible. So we have a company that we took over in January of 2022. Not took over. They started on Sera. I apologize. I said that wrong. They started on Sera in January of 2022. Here's the facts of this company. It's in East Texas. It's an 85,000 population. The county population is less than 200,000. So this is not a big city. Their service area is not a big city. This is an older second generation company. Their sales were around just touching on 4 million after 20 something years.
Okay.
First year on Sera, they exceeded over 7 million in revenue in this small town. And not
4
only
million to 7 million in 1 year?
12 months.
In
12
12
months.
Wow.
Now that's fascinating, but let me tell you what's even more fascinating about this. These guys are running about an 8% EBITDA. And for people that don't know what EBITDA is, it's basically cash flow is what I'm talking about. They were running an 8% cash flow. They ran a 30% cash flow while growing to 7 million at the same time.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yes.
Now that's a
30
success
Incredible.
story.
Yeah.
Especially the small town. I love that it was in a small town because that's a common objection, I think, from a lot of owners that maybe cut themselves off from new technological opportunities because they live in a small town and they think things work differently because of that. So I like
Yep.
that you picked that one.
It was such a great success. But the thing is they bought into the way Sera runs, and they allowed Sera to do its thing. And when you allow Sera to do its thing, it's going to do this for you. How difficult could it be to go from 8% EBITDA or cash flow to
Right.
30 and grow by 3 million at the same time? And so this company always had $100,000 in the bank, maybe $50,000 to $100,000 in the bank. And they paid off all their debt, and they never go less than $1 million in cash. They keep $1 million cash in the checking account at all times and no debt.
Wow. What a great
Wow.
case study here, right here. That's amazing.
And I want to cover too, any of the updates that we can look forward to in the future. We went over a couple of them, but what's in the future of Sera?
Great question. There's so many things that are coming to Sera. We have, of course, the Blue On deal that I think is just revolutionary. It's going to change everything as far as how these businesses can get even more efficient. We're building efficiency in every level. M360 or Sera 360 is coming out literally in 2 weeks, and we will be able to manage and show you all your marketing and help you improve your marketing through Sera with M360. So I want to make that announcement. This is the first public announcement of that.
All right.
And
Yay.
that
There
is
you go.
literally dropping here in July. And we've already started prototyping it or testing it at billyGO, which we do. That's the beauty of billyGO, is we get to test stuff and then fix it before we give it to our customers.
Right.
And we are finding great success with this, the dashboards, the things that are allowing us to understand what we're spending on money, what ads are working, which ones are not. I mean, the transparency that's coming from this is pretty amazing. We're pretty excited about that. Not only that, we have version 2 of our patent pending scheduler. Our scheduler has patent pending on it. And version 2 is coming out here pretty soon. And version 2 is going to be amazing. It's going to do a lot of things for the contractor when it comes to scheduling the correct job for the correct people, and building the amount of calls you have and keeping you from getting overbooked, but making maximum profits. That's what it's going to do. Because when we overbook, let's say we go to sales training and we teach our technicians to slow down and show value. Then we get busy. We forget all about that.
Right.
Our priority becomes, how many calls can I run?
They burn through
Yeah.
them all. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I could just get contractors to slow down, they could make so much more money. Because the customers, if you can give better customer service by slowing down,
Yeah.
the people that are going to use you, and you're not going to get bad calls. It's going to make a difference. And that's what we do. And I want you to know, guys, billyGO in the off season, we close at 4:00 every day.
4 o'clock?
Yes. In the busy season, we give our guys their last call no later than 5:00, and then we're closed.
Because
That's
they
amazing.
maximize each opportunity.
That's right. We are doing these numbers, and everybody's going home
Yep.
at a reasonable time.
Love that. That's amazing.
And so that is just one of the things that proves that if you slow down, you can do way more.
That's great
We do
advice.
less calls per guy, and we do more money per guy, per call.
Billy, so proud of you. Like, it's not easy what you have done. Like, self-funded both the companies, billyGO, Sera, and you are going all the way to top. And more success to you. And we look forward to seeing more updates. Like, you shared a lot of updates, and look forward to seeing that. For the listeners, how can they get started, or if they want to learn more about Sera, how can they reach out to you?
Sure. So you can go to sera.tech. It's SERA.TECH, www. Or you can email me. You can billy@sera.tech. It's that easy. You can email me. I'll answer any questions. I will, we're going to introduce, I guess, one more innovation. We're going to be introducing where we're going to be able to go to your company and during your onboarding or when you're ready to get started and train and be there with you. It's an option we're going to start having. And so we're here to help the contractors to succeed. I've been very blessed in this industry. I had no idea that I would find the success in this industry when I got into it. All I wanted to do to see if I could ever make $100,000 a year. That's all I wanted out of it. That's like,
That's my goal. That's my goal, Billy. That's
my. I'm like, if I can do that,
I'm almost there.
Yeah, there you go. And that goal was achieved, and then I had a new one, right? I just kept going. And
Right.
the biggest thing I can say, if people will just embrace change, because if you keep doing it the way you're doing and you're not finding the success that you want to find, you need to look at change, and that's what we can help navigate you through. But we have a very full or large amount of videos and stuff on our YouTube channel as well, and that's Sera Systems on YouTube.
Awesome.
I think you can get a lot of information from there, and our website has tons of videos as well.
Yeah, and we'll link all that below. So, for all of the listeners, click the link below if you want some more information about Sera and how to participate in the innovation in this industry happening right now. And thank you so much, Billy, for coming on the show and sharing your experience and all of that helpful information. We really appreciate you coming on today.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you
Billy.
very
Thank
much
you
for
so
having
much.
me. This has been fun.